First is that all enriched material has to leave Iran. The second is that there shall be no enrichment capability, not stopping the enrichment process, but dismantle the equipment and the infrastructure that allows you to enrich in the first place. I said that if a deal is to be reached, it should have several components that we believe are important not only for the security of Israel, but for the security of the world. The United States, the region, the world. The first is that all enriched material has to leave Iran. The second is that there shall be no enrichment capability, not stopping the enrichment process, but dismantle the equipment and the infrastructure that allows you to enrich in the first place. And the third is to deal also with the questions of ballistic missiles. There's an MTCR limitation of 300 kilometers, and Iran is supposed to adhere to it. Of course it doesn't, as the Rising Lion operation by itself manifested. Everybody knows that. And the fourth is dismantle the axis of terror that Iran has built. It's been smashed, but it's still there. It's trying to recover, as Iran itself is trying to do. And the last thing is, remember Ronald Reagan's dictum vis-a-vis the Soviet Union? Trust but verify. Distrust, and always verify. So there has to be real inspections, substantive inspections, no lead time inspections, but effective inspections for all of the above. Assault rifles, that's what they used in the massacre of October 7th. That's what they used. That's what they did the worst massacre of the Jewish people since the Holocaust with AK-47s. 60,000 of them, they have to go outside. Obviously RPGs, rockets, and so on. But that's the main weapon, and that has to go. So first, disarm Hamas, and second, demilitarize Gaza.
הנשיא חושב שהאיראנים כבר למדו אם יש להם עסק. הוא חושב שהתנאים שהוא יוצר, בשילוב העובדה שהם בוודאי מבינים שהם טעו בפעם הקודמת שהם לא עשו הסכם, שיכול להיות שיווצרו התנאים להשגת הסכם טוב. רוצה לשמוע את דעתי. אני לא אסתיר מכם שאני הבעתי סקפטיות כללית לגבי טיב הסכם כלשהו עם איראן, אבל אמרתי שאם אכן יושג הסכם, אז הוא חייב לכלול את האלמנטים שהם חשובים מאוד מבחינתנו, מבחינת ישראל, דעתי לא רק ישראל, זאת אומרת, זה לא רק הגרעין, זה גם הטילים הבליסטיים, זה גם השלוחים האיראנים. זה מוצתה השיחה, הייתי אומר, אם כי גם נגע כמובן גם בעזה וגם באזור כולו, וגם בדברים כלליים אחרים.
Let me go first on your question. I'm not going to talk about attacks on Iran or anything of that nature because the president's made clear he prefers diplomacy and an outcome of negotiated settlement. Now, we're dealing with radical Shia clerics. Okay, we're dealing with people who make geopolitical decisions on the basis of pure theology, and it's a complicated thing. I mean, no one's ever been able to do a successful deal with Iran, but we're going to try. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be traveling. I think they're traveling right now to have important meetings, and we'll see how that turns out. And we'll always comply with the applicable laws of the United States in terms of involving Congress in any decisions. But right now, we're not talking about any of that. We are postured in the region for one simple reason, and that is that we understand that there could be threats to our forces in the region. We've seen them be threatened in the past, and we want to make sure that we have sufficient capacity to defend them if, God forbid, that were to happen.
Trump has threatened to use force against Iran should it not reach a deal with him over its nuclear program. He's also warned Iran that he's willing to use force if it kills peaceful protesters or conducts mass executions of those detained, since Iran heavily cracked down on those nationwide protests last month. This all comes as these talks between the United States and Iran seem for the moment to be at a stall. There had been some thought from Trump especially that there would be more talks, but they didn't materialize this week, and we did see a top Iranian security official move from Oman and Qatar to U.S. intermediaries in those talks without any move towards returning to the negotiating table.
هیچ کس نمیتونه کوچکترین تعرض موشک‌های ما بکنه. موشک‌های ما موضوع مذاکره نیستن و نخواهند.
ما به دنبال سلاح هسته‌ای نیستیم. ما بارها و بارها این رو اعلام کردیم و آماده هر گونه راستی آزمایی هستیم. دیوار بلند بی‌اعتمادی رو که آمریکا و اروپا در قبال اون حرف‌هایی که میزنند ایجاد کردند اجازه نمیده که این گفتگوها به نتیجه برسه. ایران ما در مقابل زیاده خواهی های آنها سرخم نخواهد کرد. ایران ما در مقابل بی‌عدالتی ها و تجاوز ها کوتاه نخواهد آمد. ولی ما با تمام قوا در جهت صلح و آرامش در منطقه با کشورهای همسایه در حال گفتگو هستیم. مشکل منطقه رو کسانی که در منطقه زندگی میکنند میتوانند حل کنند، نه بیگانگانی که از دور میان و میخوان مشکل ما رو حل کنند.
Iran, or the timeline with Iran?
We have to make a deal, otherwise it's going to be very traumatic. Very traumatic. I don't want that to happen, but we have to make a deal. They should have made a deal the first time, and they got Midnight Hammer instead. And this will be very traumatic for Iran if they don't make a deal. Look, if they don't make a deal, then it'll be a different story. But we had a very good meeting yesterday with Bibi Netanyahu, and he understands, but it's ultimately up to me. If the deal isn't a very fair deal and a very good deal with Iran, then it's going to be, I think, a very difficult time for them in the back.
So, the second aircraft carrier that you decided to send, talk about why you made that choice.
Well, in case we don't make a deal, we'll need it. If we don't have a deal, we'll need it. If we have a deal, we could cut it short. It'll be leaving very soon. We have one out there that just arrived. If we need it, we have it ready. A very big force.
The United States is sending a second aircraft carrier to the Middle East. This comes amid high tensions with Iran over its nuclear program. The USS Gerald R will be coming to the Middle East. Right now it's in the Caribbean, where it had taken part in military operations there that saw the Americans seize former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and bring him to the United States to face charges. Now, the Ford is the world's biggest aircraft carrier, and it will move alongside the USS Abraham Lincoln, which has been in the region for some time now.